Hey, hello out there. How are you today? Well, welcome, excuse me, to another live stream coming to you direct from Atascadero, California. And we're on the central coast of California, beautiful, like by Morro Bay, Cambria, San Luis Obispo. It's a very beautiful area. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Wes is here today working on the cameras and the storyboard and stuff. And Gail's working the message board. And I appreciate both of you guys. And we've already got 37 viewers, Wes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. I tell you what, if you guys don't show up, we won't either. So thank you so much. Remember, this is your live stream. You ask the questions, and we'll try to get the answers. So, as you know, I was gone all last week. We went over to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival, and that was really something. We're going to talk a little bit about it today, but I hope to we'll do a better job because we just got back last night. We'll do a better job about it maybe next week or the week after. And but we had a blast. It was really, really fun. And actually, traveling there was really fun. Okay, so we flew out of Santa Barbara. We never have done that before. Southwest just started flying out of Santa Barbara, and I tell you, that airport is just really neat, man. It's like going to a hotel. It's a beautiful airport. So we're sitting there, and the crowd is starting to come and line up. And I said to Gail, that guy over there, he looks like Peter Noon. Remember Hermits and the Hermits? Herman and the Hermits. And she's looking at him and says, yeah, I don't know. So we're just sitting there, and he's kind of on a phone with ear things, and he kind of walks over in back of us, and he's talking on the phone and stuff. And Gail says, hey, that's him. He's talking in a British accent. So I don't know. It was kind of neat. I said, hey, I'm still sitting down, and he's over here, and I said, hey, are you Peter Noon? He says, I am. I should have said, are you Henry VIII? I am. But I said, oh, really? Well, I love your radio show. There's that radio show on Sirius XM about the 60s and all the people he's met and just his stories. They're really fun. And so I said, I like the show. And he said, thanks. And I mentioned that I knew Chris Montez. And he says, oh, yeah, another 805 guy. So I guess Peter must live in Santa Barbara. And I wish I would have been a little more aggressive and talked to him a little more. But he was busy. He's on the phone, And so he's got these earplugs hanging off him. And so I don't want to disturb him. But I thought, what a treat. I mean, Herman... Peter Noon, that was big stuff in my era, right? And a lot of our eras, Makes a bloke feel so proud. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. And I was thinking, I was thinking of Peter Noon the whole weekend. And I said, God, I wouldn't mind like going on the road with that, that'd be fun, It's kind of fun I love that old music, and it's kind of fun to play, and the crowd is totally into it. And that's really what makes it fun. So, anyway, I missed my opportunity to audition for him. But if it's meant to be, it'll happen. So anyway, beautiful flight, Southwest. You got no problem flying Southwest with your guitar. They make room. They got giant overheads, and so that was pretty cool. And then we had to rent a car. Oh, no. Yeah, we rented a car and had to drive to Denver. And the road from Colorado Springs to Denver is like the Autobahn in Germany. I can't believe how fast these people are going 90, 95 miles an hour. Speed limit 75. And then the caution, we've got a turn coming up. Take it at 70. You know, it's like, holy crap. And it's pouring rain. So that was a lot of fun. But anyway, we finally got there. And we got there Friday night, and it already had started. And, well, I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Wes, anybody say anything on here that we need to talk about?
No, not really. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Everyone's just kind of saying hi, and yeah.
What do we got here? Eddie Davis. Rich, this is Mystic. I just posted Beautiful Love on my YouTube channel 20 minutes ago. That's funny. Anyway, so yeah, nothing. It looks like we've got some people. There was a Russian song. Some new folks here. So I see Eddie Davis. I see Francis. What's happening, man? And that's Mick Mac. Mark Larkin, how you doing, buddy? 3 minor, 6 minor scale. Okay. Jim Rolfe, what's happening, man? I texted Jim because I said, hey, man, I just met Peter Noon because Jim's a 60 nut. Don Spain, what's happening? Hey, Rich, enjoying the show. What Gibson is that you're starting out with? This is Tal Farlow. Can you read that there? Oh, it says custom. It says that Tal Farlow there. Then Tal Farlow. So, you know what's funny? The Gibson Barney Kessel guitar, the one with the 2 horns, that was originally made for Tal Farlow. Tal Farlow said, I don't want it. They offered it to Barney, and he did it. Now, he didn't play live shows with it. According to Mitch Holder, he played a lot of sessions with it because it had the back pickup. Remember, Barney did a lot of sessions. So it was kind of interesting. In Germany, I drive as fast as the car will allow. Wow. I met a guy from Germany, a guitar maker at the festival. I can't pronounce the name of the guitarist, but Bruce Foreman endorses him. But anyway, a real nice guy, builds a beautiful guitar. What do you think, Wes? Come on, step up here.
I mean, I don't know. We didn't plan too much today. We were last minute show, not a lot going on. You're sick. This is So I mean, what do you want from me? What do you want me? What do you want me to
do? See who's here, and if tell him that.
All right.
Tell him to ask some questions.
All right. So ask questions, guys. We need some questions. Like I said, there wasn't a lot going on for us this morning. It's a little late start. So we're really relying on you guys to help move this thing along. So ask some questions, please.
Excuse me. So yeah, Gail had this throat thing, cough for a while, and now I got it. So it's fun. Wes, you had it too, right?
Yeah, a while back for sure.
So I saw a lot of nice performances at the Rocky Mountain Festival. So I got to play. I played early Saturday with Mike Dana. You know, so like day before we're gonna fly, I get a text and says, "Hey, see you in Denver." So apparently I didn't know he was going to go there, but he did. And so we played together on my little guitar spot. And I think there's some video. We'll have it. Paul Getty filmed it. And he sent us a link. But also a California guy, an old friend, Brad Rebution was there. Got to hang out with him. Him and Tim Lurch. And you guys all know Tim. And then I got to see Beth Marlis. Barth. Beth Marlis from GIT. Haven't seen her in decades. So I got to meet Frank Vignolia and Corey Christiansen. It was pretty cool, man. Bruce Foreman was there. We hung out a little bit. Pasquale Grasso. Holy moly. Can that guy, does he have the arpeggios or what? Oh, man, that guy is. And, you know, it's funny. I was just listening to Art Tatum before we left. And Art played like that. He would do these big giant arpeggios. And if you've ever seen Pasquale play, he does a lot of those just beautiful technique. And I actually learned quite a bit from this trip, and I'll share it with you guys maybe next week once I finalize what the heck I'm talking about even. Mitch Holder was there. I got to see Mitch. Mitch had moved to Denver, and he was there and came over to hang out. And he spent a long time hanging out and talking with Jimmy Bruno. We got to meet Jimmy, talk with him for a while. So it was really fun. Great hang. They have so many classes going on there. It's you just don't know where to start. And everything's conflicting and stuff. You know, I want to see this guy, but I can only see him for maybe half an hour because I want to get over here to see this guy and that. And it's like, wow. So anyway, Pat Bergenson and Jim Nichols went to one of their classes. That was nice. That was really nice. Dave Mooney, really nice player, man. So anyway. Really nice to see Ted Ludwig. Good God. I mean, there were so many people. So many wonderful. I told Gail, you know, this is the cream of the crop. Not the crap. The crop. Cream of the crop. Jazz guitar players here.
Tom's wondering how many teachers were there.
I don't know, man. A ton. I'd say at least 20 or 30. You know, a lot of people. So I think I think the schedule is online that you could go check it out. Gave us a lot of ideas because we've been tooling around the idea of doing something similar out here on the Central Coast. And so...
Did any guitars stand out to you at the festival?
Of the guitars or the makers?
Guitars. Did any guitars stand out to you at the festival? Adam's asking that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, boy, there's so many. You know, it's like going into a jewelry store there in the Luthier hall there because all these great-looking guitars are there, and some of them are really, really dressed up. Benedetto was there. Most of the people, I can't even pronounce their names, were there. You know, there's this one gal, Megan, what is her last name? Megan Wells. What an artist. She makes, they're smaller body guitars. They're smaller. And, but what an artist. Oh my gosh. Beautiful guitars. There were several guys there. I couldn't believe the prices of some of them, though. It was a little ridiculous, to be honest. But I did hook up with this one fella. His name is Gordon Close. And he builds a guitar called the Harvest. And so he approached me and said, what's your input on this? Well, how do you like that? What would you like in a guitar? So I said, well, you know, let's get together. And he says, we'll build the Rich Severson model. Yeah, okay. So we'll see. But they weren't as ornate as the others, but they were quality built. And he makes like a 17-inch Johnny Smith. By the way, he has a wonderful guitar collection. He has like a museum of guitars. So he patterns them after he likes Johnny Smith, loves Johnny Smith. He's got this special pickup that sounds great, and but he'll make a Johnny Smith even thinner. So the body of the guitars he makes are just really solid, really nice, and so we're going to talk about doing some things. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But man, yeah, it was great. A lot of great. These one guitars, the one that Mark Winfield plays, Marciani, something like that. I mean, they're a nice guitar, but you know, you got to take out a second in your house if you want to get one. They're like $35,000, which, okay, that's what they get, and they put a lot of time into it. I get it, but God dang it! And you're going to take that to a $50 gig? Yeah, okay. Okay, what is this? What does Eddie Davis saying there?
We used to watch Jim and Morning Nichols in San Francisco when they had a regular gig at the top of the Mark at the Mark Hopkins Hotel. Jim can do both jazz and country at the highest level. That one?
Yeah, he sure can. Yeah, he's great. And his technique. One thing I noticed, and I want to share this with you, is when I watched a lot of these guys play, the guys that played the softest with the lightest touch had the best sound. When you start digging in, sounds not so hot. And you get guilty of that when you start getting excited. But either that or raise your action, so it's hard to play. But I noticed the guys that played very soft, and Jim is one of them, played with a very light touch. They get the best sound out of their instruments. So think about it. If you want to play louder, just turn your amp up, but play with a soft touch, and you'll bring out a better sound out of your guitar. That's my opinion. Pasquale does the same thing. Benny, let's see. Benny, no, not, what was his name? God darn it, not Barry Green. Barry Green and Rodney Jones played together. They have a heavier touch. Who am I thinking of? I don't know. Oh, excuse me, Davy Mooney. A light touch, beautiful tone, man. Beautiful tone, and it just, when you got nice tone, man, it's inspiring. When your tone goes south, it's depressing. So, something to think about. So today's theme, we were going to talk about, the tune I played was Beautiful Love, which is a tune in D minor. I get them mixed up with Alone Together, but I like Beautiful Love. That was Joe Pass's one of his favorites. Bruce Foreman seems heavy. Yeah, he's got a heavier touch, but his strings are a little further off the fretboard so that you don't get that fretting sound. So my strings are real close to the fretboard.
Adam asked, do you feel when the baby boomer generation ages out that the value of arch tops will decrease? Will the younger generation appreciate them as much? I'm 30 and I do, but don't know about the rest.
Yeah. A lot of people say that, that when the baby boomers are gone, they're going to drop in value. I don't believe so. One of the reasons is if they're into jazz guitars and you like Wes Montgomery, let's say, or Joe Pass or whatever, you're going to want those guitars. And there's plenty of other guys that are coming along that are playing the archtops, and they've got people, students and the like, and they want those guitars as well. So no, I don't think it will be like that. And they say that about classic cars. Okay, when our generation is gone, okay, are people going to still want to get a 57 Chevy? And the answer is yes, because a lot of these kids will say, well, my dad had one of those, there's that. They see it in movies. They want to be like that. There's a resurgence of that era, let's say. And those cars, like the stock market, they're probably more solid than the stock market, but, they might fluctuate here and there, but they're not going to go like that and sit there. Not when there's movies being made with them and all that good stuff. So they don't make any more 57 Chevys. It's like my generation wanting a 36 Ford, 36 Ford, like my dad had one. My wife's father had a 36 Ford. They're a bitchin' car. And then if you had a hot rod 36 Ford, that's a bitchin' car. So those, yeah. I think there's less hot rodders, like there was that hot rod during the day, back in the day, that hot rod generation. I don't see that in younger people nowadays too much, but who knows? Who knows? But I don't think those cars will go down in value. Life as we know it ends in 6 to 7 years anyways. A good point, Robin. Yeah. It won't matter anyways, yeah. Let's see, light touch, heavy pick. Yes, that's thinner the pick, the thinner the sound. Thinner the string, the thinner the sound. That was a great question, Adam. Jim Rolfe says, I am finding a lot of things, including cool guitars, are out of my tax bracket. Yeah. All right. So after we went to the guitar show, we went over to my mother-in-law's house in Colorado Springs. And she just moved there a year ago. And she had some doctor's appointments, and we took her there, and Gail took her in, and I was out there, and I saw Forbes magazine. I thought, well, I'll pick up and read this Forbes magazine. So I thought it was a really cool magazine. And one of the things they talked about in the magazine, they had these little articles. And this guy one of the things is the vintage guitars you should be looking for to buy. And they named 3. One of them was like the 62 Les Paul, something like that, with the 3 pickups, the Black Beauty 3 pickups. They're saying it's only $45,000 at this point, right? So you ought to pick one of those up. and then the next one was a 1924 L5, the first year. And remember, the L5. Actually, 1923, so it's been 100 years since the L5 was created. And the Benedetto guys, one of their friends, had one of those, and I got my picture taken with it. Woo-hoo! Had one of those. This was a 1924 Gibson L5. And it's actually a 16-inch guitar, tiny F-holes, big fat V-neck. And, but wow, it was in beautiful shape. So anyway, this guy's saying buying one of those. And then the other thing he was mentioning is a guitar. Try to find a guitar that a player has played and try to purchase that guitar, a famous player. And then then they showed other guys going on to what cars to buy. You know, it was the 63 to 67 Corvette, the 62 Jaguar convertible, and the 58 Mercedes coupe and stuff. You know, I don't know. Anyway, and then they had watches. What watches to buy? You know. Anyway, it was an interesting magazine. Oh. Any news on here, Wes? Anything? Come on, guys. Let's jump in, Wes.
Okay.
Attaboy.
Yeah, so Jim asked, what's the value of that Tal Farlow?
I would say around 5,000. It could be a little less, could be more. I've seen them more. I've seen them, you know, like maybe 45, something like that. On up.
Lefty says, were the guitars generally 17-inch or 3-inch, or are they building more of the thin line?
I think they're building more thinner ones. That seem to be more, the thinner, more comfortable to the mature adult with the big belly, you know. So, that's what I'm seeing, more thinner guitars. That's a very good question.
And then Tom asks, which musical performer felt first inspired you to play guitar?
Well, it has to be Gene Autry. But then after that, it was, the Beach Boys, Dick Dale, the surf era, and then, of course, the Beatles. So then after that, Tal Farlow, Wes Montgomery, Barty Kessel, Howard Roberts. So Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, all the heavyweights, all the heavies, you know.
And that's kind of it there for questions there, buddy.
Talking of Bruce Foreman, what do you think about the Charlie Christian Blade pickup? Once I got one, I didn't want anything to do with a humbucker. They're great. Mitch Holder likes his too. I've seen there was a couple guys building new ones, new guitars with the Charlie Christian pickups on it. I don't know. I always kind of thought they sound a little tinny on the high end. I could be wrong. But I think they're pretty good. Matter of fact, I saw a guitar, an L7, with a 1939 Charlie Christian pickup, but it's over in Europe. You ought to pick that up if you're over there. I'm a little skeptical about buying a guitar from Europe because, it's a long ways away. But I guess Reverb, you buy it through Reverb, they'll protect you. But it's got to be shipped correctly and all that good stuff. But I don't know. Oh. So anyway, I think that would be Charlie Christian pickup. I guess it depends on what guitar it's on too, Mitch has one on a thin body, like a ES 350, I think, something like that, one of those thinner ones, So he loves it.
Did you ever see Barney Kessel perform? That's Adam's question.
No. No, I was thinking I did at Shelley's Manhole one time. I don't think so. I would have probably remembered that. No, I didn't. Okay. Shall we do the lesson? Do a lesson?
Sure.
Okay. So, harmonic minor is a, I think you guys have heard this story. I took a lesson from Joe Pass, and he goes, well, I took a couple, but he says, okay, pretend you're a trumpet player, and we're at the end of the song, and you're going to play this big credenza at the end. Let me hear what you would do. Okay. Do it. He says, is that it? I don't know what to do. Anyway, he said, go home and learn harmonic minor. He didn't tell me why, but so you think about it, harmonic minor, over the 5 chord. Some people call it, if you start on a 5 note, they call it the Spanish dominant sound. I don't know. So it brings out, over an A7 chord, it brings out well, let's start with what is harmonic minor. Lowered third, starting in C, right? Lowered sixth, natural 7. Almost sounds Mid-Eastern. What? So anyway, it almost sounds like that. But it brings out the sharp 5. It brings out the flat 9. And it resolves. Now, one trick that guys do is over the 5 chord, even in a major key, they'll play C harmonic minor, and they'll resolve it to C major. Hear it? So it makes it just sound like I'm going. Okay, so that is how you do it. So when I play it over a dominant chord, it creates an altered dominant sound. Now, if you think about in the key of F, if you think about an F scale, if I just raise the 5th degree a half step, what do I get? I get D harmonic minor. All right. So, well, that's kind of neat. That's all you got to do, right? Yeah. Go to the relative major, and there's your raise the 5th degree, and then you get your harmonic minor. Now, if you go and you raise the 5th degree, but keep the 5th. So I've got the natural 7, the sharp 7. Depending, if we look at it in the key of D, let's say, I've got the lowered 7th, the natural 7, or the sharp 7. So A lot of people refer to that, myself included, as the bebop harmonic minor. All right, so I play over the dominant chord the harmonic minor or the bebop harmonic minor scale of the chord I'm going to. So over G7, I'm going to play C harmonic minor. And then when the C chord hits, I'm in C major, okay? So I've got a little exercise here, and it's on the Guitar College Library website. And this exercise, that camera's not working. It's 3 pages of licks. This is 2, 5, 1, and then 5 of 2, or dominant 6, however you want to look at it, in the key of G. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of measures of it, and it's like an etude. And I actually have a track that goes with it. Now, so what we want to do is get used to, in this case, here's an A minor. So I'm going to play A minor sounds, so I'm thinking this is 2 in the key of G. So A Dorian. Over the D7, I'm going to think G harmonic minor. Once the G hits, I'm in the key of G again. And then we're going to an altered E7. And then, so I'm going to say to myself, well, E7 is going to resolve to A. So I'm going to play A harmonic minor. And as a little hint, when I have an E7, don't, when you play A harmonic minor, don't start on the note A. That's the worst note you could play. Actually, it'd be nicer if you just eliminated it. Right? Okay, so now I have over the A minor, I've got A minor sounds in the key of G. Over the D7, I've got G harmonic minor. Over the G, I've got G major. Over the E, I've got A harmonic minor. And it goes over again and again and again and again. And so I'll play this etude for you. I just did this track this morning. I slowed it down because it does take a little practice to do this, and I haven't done it in ages. But I need to I'm going to upload this particular track to the website, so we have this as well. So it's just a little bossa nova track. Here we go. right, so there it is. Just a little workout, to get you playing around those and thinking in terms of just 2, 5, 1, and then 5 of 2. So I'm going the 2 chord G major sounds, the 5 chord G harmonic sounds, harmonic minor sounds, G major sounds, E7 A harmonic minor sounds. So, and then of course you don't have to just play harmonic minor. You can also include the bebop harmonic minor. Does that make sense to you? Wes, you got that?
Yep, got it.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Yep, for sure.
So, sorry. When you got to itch, you got to itch. So, Beautiful Love is in D harmonic minor. And, here's another thing about harmonic minor that's kind of crazy. Never mind. You got enough to do. Forget it. Sorry. Any requests, Wes?
Yeah, Mark Larkins, Here's That Rainy Day.
Oh, hey, Mark. Which guitar, Mark? Mark, which guitar do you want? The Tal, the 775, or the L5? Let me know, and then we'll go. Here's That Rainy Day is a beautiful tune. Love it. And before we do, let's do Bernie's tune. That's in D minor. And that's a good one to get your feet wet. And so it's in the key of D minor, and then it goes to B flat. So basically, depending on how you look at it, it could be B flat going to the 3 sounds, or it could be D minor going to the flat 6 sounds. Okay. so like that tune goes D minor, ba-ba-da, B flat 7 flat 5, then A7. Now, what's interesting is that B7 flat 5, B flat 7 flat 5, right? So, that's a substitution for E7. So I think E7. Then it goes E7 to A7. So it's right around cycle 4. So you got D. And then you've got this flat 5, which is a very interesting arpeggio, by the way. When you think about it, here's a arpeggio for a B flat 7. Here's an arpeggio for an E7 flat 5. So they're the same. Isn't that cool? So, boo ba boo, boo ba doo da, and then here's B flat, and then if you move it down a half step, then I've got my A7. Anyway, that was Bernie's tune, and that's on the website as well. Wes, come on, man. What's up? Anything?
Wait, that wasn't Here's That Rainy Day?
No, I haven't played that yet.
Oh.
I was asking him what guitar he wanted me to play it on.
Oh. Gotcha.
Because he always wants this other one. He always wants the 570 or the 775. But I don't think he's answered, so I'll go ahead and play Rainy Day here. Let's see. I gotta find it here. Rainy Day. Here's that. Is it Here's or Rainy Day? I think it's Here's.
Do you ever play Nika's Dream?
No. I mean, I've played it before. I'd have to look at it. I don't know it by memory. Here's that Rainy Day. There's that version. Okay. So Rainy Day goes. Whoops. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. We had a problem here. Here's that Rainy Day. Here's that rainy. Oh. Rainy Day goes like this. G. Then it goes B flat. And then it goes E flat. A flat. A minor. D. G. And then it goes to 4 minor. So C minor. And then F. Back to B flat, to E flat, A minor, D with a turnaround. And then it does it again. A minor, G. Now 4 major, D7, B, E, A minor, back home to G. So the tune can be reharmonized very nicely. I like to do arrangement like this. So that's an arrangement of it that's on the web page. Here is, let's do this. Let me play it. Come on, guys. Anyway, here's that rainy day. Anyway, so yeah. Anything new, Wes?
Not too much. Tom says, how common is modal interchange in tunes?
Pretty common. It happens a lot. The most probably the most thing that happened the most common occurrence is when you play a 4 minor chord. So, for instance, that song it's basically in the key of G, but then we got the C minor F B flat. Well, that's modal interchange right there, going to the key of G minor, right? The flat 3. So that Here, There, and Everywhere, perfect example. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road, Laughter in the Rain. those are blatant go to another key of modal interchange. So, yeah, it happens a lot. And it's a fancy word. Don't you love to say that? Yes, I do believe that that's modal interchange. If I take a look here at the music, I see that Bach put a modal interchange here. Beethoven, modal interchange. So anyway, that was my attempt at a professor. What do you think, Wes? Did I do it?
Yeah, it's great. Gail Severson says, Rich, tell them about your new custom strap.
Yes, it's in the suitcase. But my new strap is made by Eldorado Straps. Eldorado, Bill Silverman. I think we mentioned it last week, and we'll be mentioning it more. He's an artist of leather. And so the strap he made me is like the Gibson. The ones that I always use is more like the Harmony guitar. It's compared to the one he made. So real leather, not just vinyl. So, yeah, that's, he makes beautiful straps, and you should pick one up. You buy a $5,000 guitar and you buy a $4 strap, buy a nice strap, something you'd be proud of. Okay, I am the master of smooth and cool. Thank you. Got to be smooth and cool. Thank you.
John Smith said, when I was younger, I played big band records. I know that the bands played tunes in B flat, F, etc. But for some strange reason, 90% of the time I didn't pick up the chord. I would just use an A minor 6. I don't know why it worked, but it did.
Numbers, if I didn't pick up the chord, I just used an A minor. Well, the A minor 6, it could be many different things. It could be A minor 6. It could be D9, right? It could be F sharp minor 7 flat 5. So, you can take this form. And that it almost like is that old Cab Calloway kind of sound. Oh, thanks, honey. So big band, really it's the tritone. You got the tritone there. You can switch it all around, it doesn't matter. Let's see, where'd that go? Anyway, here's my strap. Here's what Bill Silverman made for me. Isn't that beautiful? It's got extra sheepskin padding on it. It's when I started using this, my shoulder pain went away. Beautiful leather, thick leather, real nice. And this is like his plain strap. I mean, Bill usually would engrave the heck out of this and really make it fancy schmancy, like a saddle, But Gail asked him to keep it simple, easy. So anyway, this is the Rich Severson model. If you go to Eldorado Straps and email Bill and say, hey, I want a Rich Severson strap. I don't know how much they are, but I tell you this, so last you the rest of your life. So, yeah, check it out. Anything else, Wes?
No, I don't have a lot really to...
Any thoughts of wood bridge or a tune-o-matic? I had I went through a period. I put tunamatics on all my guitars, and then I went through a period of taking them all off and putting the wood ones back on. Just I don't know if it's psychological or what. They just seemed warmer to me. Some bridges on old guitars, like I've got an old 66 or no 68 ES 150 125 with a cutaway, and the bridge is soft wood, and so it kind of dulls the guitar, which is hard to get that sound if you like it. So it's easier to brighten it up. And what I did is put super glue in the things. I sharpened each string hole so it came to a point like that instead of like this. And then and then put some super glue in it, make it harder. And it did brighten up the high strings as far as it made them ring a little better. Which I have a 66 175 coming in, by the way, guys. So it was shipped yesterday. So good question. I like the they're both valid. All three of these guitars, though, have got the tunematic. And if you're looking for a tunematic, I guess the best place to go is Stu Mac. Go to Stuart McDonald and you can get yourself a tunematic. Pat Evans. Hi, Pat. Couldn't do Colorado, but getting ready to take the California Autobahn Highway 99 south to Bakersfield. Really, to hear Martin Taylor this evening? Wow. How cool is that? Martin Taylor, I didn't know. Would you tell him hi for me? See what he says. Anyway, okay. Well, I think that's probably about it for our show. What do you think, Wes?
I don't know. Robin has a question here, though. What about Schaller Bridge with nylon saddles?
Yeah, I don't know about those. I really don't have any experience. Now, the Schaller Bridge I have with the ones that have the little circle, the little spindle, each string so you can turn it to alter the string spacing. And it's like a roller bridge, right? And so those are pretty good with vibratos and stuff like that. But I've never seen a Schaller one with nylon saddles. Bo Diddley, I swear, every night he would break a string, and he had heavy strings. Every night he'd break a string, and then he would promptly go and put the string back on, a new string back on during the show. And it got to be a point where, is this part of the act or what? So one day I said, hey, Bo, let me see. You must have a burr on that guitar or something to break that string all the time. I ain't got a burr. So, maybe you ought to think about getting those nylon, those white, saddle pieces to put in there. They wouldn't break. I melt those saddles. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Tom said, "Can you play a Joe Beam tune?" And then John Smith says, "Tunematic does tend to make the string sound brash."
Yeah, it brightens it up, I think. I go back and forth on it. So.
John Aspinwall says, "Play Photografia."
Okay, well,
Bitch.
I don't know that one. Hi, Timothy, from the gang in Fresno. Hi, Timothy. Okay, so Joe Beam. A Joe Beam tune I always like, and maybe it's not cool, but I think it's pretty cool. It's just, and it's an easy tune. It's meditation. I know it's in here. I mean, I just got done playing Wave a couple days ago. I won't play it again. Here's meditation. One note samba. We've already done the heck out of that. Safe. So anyway, yeah, that was meditation. Let's get medicated so we can do meditation. All right, well.
Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, submit them now. Requests or, yep.
Well, you guys, next week we'll be a little more prepared, but I think we had a pretty good time today. I hope you would join us again, 11 o'clock. Would you try performing Leon Redbone Shine on? I'm sorry, I don't know it. Lunch bell rang at the Cozy Corner Cafe in Mayberry. Got that? Hey, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.